Hello and welcome to Litt on Sunday. My name is Litt. On this program this week and every week, we bring you news headlines and take a deeper look at some of the most important ones affecting the Asian community. In today's program, we'll be looking at the bogus colleges scams in the UK. We'll also have a second report looking at the development of the Asian media in the UK. Last week it was print and today it will be the broadcast media. And towards the end of the program, we will discuss the Asian media in the UK with our guest, Chaman. Bogus colleges are the backbone of overcoming British immigration rules and has mushroomed in the last 10 years. Virtually anyone can set up a college and give out diplomas and certificates which look impressive but aren't worth the paper they're written on. This backdoor into the UK has been giving real headaches to the border agency and the British government for some time now. Genuine universities and colleges need the income from overseas students, and the Asian students who can't qualify to enter these universities seek a student visa which allows them to work and study at the same time, with emphasis on work rather than study, and hoping they can extend their stay and find other means of beating the immigration rules, like marriage, for instance. We sent out RAJMEHTA to investigate further.
Students come to this country on a student visa with high hopes and aspirations for a UK education, where they will learn a lot and their money would be spent as a worthwhile investment. Sunrise Television investigations has revealed that often these students are lured into paying extortionate amounts to colleges that are bogus. Bogus colleges often have lecturers who don't turn up, and that these colleges ask for further money for college paperwork such as council tax, and provide attendance sheets for those who are willing to pay extra on top of the thousands of pounds spent on their education at these bogus colleges. Some of these colleges closed down saying they are in financial difficulty, and some are delisted from the Tier 4 register of sponsors by the UK Border Agency. In our investigations, we also learned that some non-legitimate students, known as economic migrants, have agents in their home countries who broker deals with the bogus colleges in exchange for money which is circulated between the agents and the students and eventually to the college. So what of these international students coming to the UK from countries such as India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and China?
Any overseas student, whether they are genuine students or non-genuine students, I have had cases where people have arrived at the airport and they've rung me from the airport saying that we have been denied entry, although I was granted visa for a particular college, for a particular course, but by the time they landed into the UK, the college has been delisted by the UK Border Agency on some account, whatever, so that is really, there is no written refund policy for from such colleges to the students or whatever. The only option such students have is to go back and then fight for the refund of their money, which is very difficult. The students which are victimized, I've still got cases which where students have paid their fee for the full year, and 3 months down the road, the college has ceased operation, either ceased operation or been delisted by the UK Border Agency. They haven't been able to get their refund, So I think the government needs to define a strict policy in terms to secure the interests of the students as well, which is something missing at the moment.
There are a range of bogus colleges. Some of their names are the Cambridge College of Learning, Middlesbrough-based National Distance Learning, Somerset University, American University in London, American University of London, Greenwich University, London College of Technology and Business, the Metropolitan Collegiate University, LDC College, the Gateway to the UK College and the Unity College. These bogus colleges and universities also use fraudulent paperwork and provide bogus degrees once payment has been received from the student. The Home Affairs Committee produced an 11th report on bogus colleges and universities, and this report expressed concern about the Home Office's preparations on dealing with the number of students within the UK illegally, with the number of students here fraudulently approximately totaling within the tens of thousands. Keith Vaz is the chairman of this Home Affairs Committee.
We felt very strongly about the need to look at the student sector. we were very concerned that those students who were here genuinely to study were not being allowed to. And a number of institutions that call themselves colleges were actually not colleges. So they would take the fees of local people and of students from abroad, and they would then keep the fees, but the students would not get their education. So it's clearly not right that this should have happened. And that's why we produced a very detailed report, which we've repeated in our latest report on the work of the UKBA, which asks the government to take action against bogus colleges.
The operation of these bogus colleges are run by gangs who have been known to make up to millions of pounds through their scams. It is thought that most of the students who apply to these colleges are genuine students, although there are also non-genuine students, people who are economic migrants looking to work in the UK and use bogus colleges as a front. Some of these colleges work in coordination with the bogus students who are wishing to enter the UK on illegal grounds and work illegally in the UK. These bogus colleges provide all the paperwork to acquire visas for students and pose as genuine colleges and universities. The UK Border Agency has been working on this problem since 2005, when colleges and universities were put on a register called the Register of Education Providers, which were approved colleges and universities. In 2009, the United Kingdom's Home Office rejected 350,000 student applications, whereas the US rejected 490,000 applications. The UK Border Agency carried out 1,200 inspections in 2009 and found that 25% of this number were not genuine colleges.
There's always an issue about people trying to circumvent a country's immigration rules, and a country like the United Kingdom has a long experience of people attempting to do so, and we're good at both catching people, sending them to trial, and if possible, sending them to prison if they do it too often. So what we've been doing is we've been visiting all the colleges on the register to make sure they're doing what they promise students from abroad and promise us they're going to do. So we want them to be offering a really good world-class education, and we want them to be following the immigration rules that we lay out. We make regular visits, both announced and unannounced, all the way around the country, and we feed back to the colleges on how well or otherwise they're doing, and if they're not doing well enough, we'll remove them or suspend them from our register. And once we've done that, those colleges cannot bring in students from abroad because the visa will not be issued.
Most recently, the issue with bogus colleges has been a controversial one, where there has been speculation over whether or not a company can call themselves a college or not. This issue has since been dealt with by the government, which introduced a legality that any company is not allowed to drastically mislead the public with their name. This is just one of the efforts in countering bogus colleges. We wanted to know what the public think about bogus colleges, so we went out and asked them.
These bogus colleges do need to be much more investigated. Some of these very cheap ones that bring in immigrants. Not that I'm against people coming in from abroad, but I do feel that they just fleece them, and that is, of course, wrong.
Well, it does the country's reputation no good as a country of academic excellence, and it does the students no good because they're getting ripped off. They should be closed down.
I think it's stupid because they turn around and offer all these courses and that and say, yeah, you can do this and get a job at the end of it, but people who are unemployed can't afford to pay £5 for a course. And it's really stupid because how do they expect people to go on these courses and pay for all this course when they can't even afford it in the first place? So I just think it's really stupid.
It's illegal, so it's not good, really. Yeah. I don't know. It's a bit of a rip-off, really. It's like someone's stealing from you. So.
I think they're really ridiculous, and they're just spoiling all our lives here in England, and especially for the original people, the people who really want to come study here, and they're not getting spaces in the colleges, and these people who are making these colleges are just spoiling everything for everyone in this whole country.
That shouldn't be happening, that's not good for the country. As far as I know, that shouldn't be happening.
It's really unfair because it's quite hard for students as it is to, have financing and to get an education. So I think it is quite unfair and something should definitely be done about it.
In bogus colleges and universities, you're talking about India, yeah? People who come here to study and there's nothing here really. There should be coordination between the UK and India. and there should be centres verifying whether these colleges usually exist before they come here. So that way, they stop being done, really, because they probably take their money and run away, don't they, in India? So I think that's coordination and communication between the two countries. And the people who want to come here make sure, these colleges really exist. Karte hai ki nahi?
It's quite sad that youngsters who are desperate to come over on an economic migration and they come for a better future, and it's people here who exploit them for large sums of money, and a lot of them, they go out and take huge amounts of loans and things that their families can't repay back. But I mean, it's all a scam, isn't it? And it really should be exploited, and it's a bit like trafficking, isn't it? Like the sex trafficking. I mean, it's the same thing. They're using vulnerable people and giving them showing them a glorious life, but really it's not the case, is it?
Well, of course, everybody would consider it quite horrible.
Really bad ones. They're not supposed to be like this, and it's waste of time and waste of money. They should not be allowed them to come in this country to do a wrong thing. They're just wasting their parents' money, and they spend their own money, which is not good at all. I don't recommend it to anybody to come here without knowledge.
Whether these colleges are going to continue operating their scams remains to be seen, especially whilst the UK Border Agency remain adamant about finding these bogus colleges, which they are aware target non-European nationals and work in coordination with some bogus students. It is unfortunate that some of these students even commit suicide after finding themselves in difficulty due to bogus colleges scamming them. The problem of bogus colleges can only be resolved by the UK Border Agency ending these fraudulent educational institutions. Till then, it seems that students who are left with nothing will need much support to recover from the harsh realities of these bogus colleges. Raj Mehta, Sunrise Television.